What are words? Fragments of meaning, floating dust, an interstreaming cosmic scale connective tissue. Heaven's outburst, God's first issue, crystallized into creation perfect, until sin's deflection brings desire as creatures cry, alone unhappy, asking why in longing for reintegration. Hence, in serving minor need, communicating sin's condition, lost in thought and incompletion, pitiful the words obsessed by trains of thinking, strains of talk until release, when they can rest, where swollen conversation wanes, and wholeness beaming silence reigns, and ignorance no longer feigns, intelligence knows best. Incomparable happiness arose when passing by a dandelion and bumblebee beneath an April sky, a bird flown past some wind-blown grass, a stick miraculously there, in natural simplicity bore witness to divinity's incalculable care. Beyond this freely granted span of simple knowing, what profits man to follow foreign news reports which stir up mischief, to distort his natural content, and tempt desire to seek, the mind to roam, and take attention far away from understanding what is meant by charity begins at home? Charity, can it be more practical than present here? Is God most merciful, more actively disposed by my desire to share or interfere, usurping purpose over there? Or does self-sacrificial prayer remove the block to see and hear? The stones beneath our feet declare, to serve the whole, be holy here. For charity is ever near at home, whenever heart is purified and party to the undivided holy ground of spiritual sight and sound, abundantly confirming scriptures, much availeth righteous prayer, becoming ever more aware of grace providing everywhere. O silence, being not in the world to be with God, surrendered, utterly self-given up, unseen, unknown to man, but known to God. No worldly understanding knows all that's now past. A new light dawns, is here, an infinite reception, welcome home. What was back there? I can't remember. Weight, I think, of pain and care, but painless, careless now, in joy as light as air. We're standing in a wood, in woodland, and countless times I've stood here in various moods and always loved it and felt at home here. felt comforted by the great trees. There's something about the stillness and the majesty of great trees that tends to bring a talkative mind to stillness. Stillness somehow pervades the atmosphere, even though the wind is moving the branches a bit. Almost there's a natural respect for where we are. Man doesn't seem so much the centre of things. Of course, that means he usually makes less noise. Soon after I learned to meditate, we were taught to give attention. And I remember going through sort of funny contortions in my mind, trying to figure out what giving attention was. But actually, it's just totally naturally seeing and listening to what's in front of you. Now, usually we do that outwardly. As a farmer, I used to work by hand all the time. I worked with the tool in my hand, and every craftsman, every person who works by hand naturally pays attention so he doesn't put the fork through his foot and picks up the right object at the right time. And then the next step on is to observe the movements of your own mind. Of course, this is much more difficult. Watch your thoughts, watch your feelings, your emotions. And similarly, as you watch them, the seer is not the thing that is seen. And you begin to realize that you are not actually these thoughts, including the one that calls itself me. You can observe me from a step backwards, as it were, or even from a bird's eye view. You can begin to observe your whole body and mind from a higher level of consciousness. Things begin to fall into place then. You begin to realize that what you think of as me, in fact, is more of a performance, something that has a form, whereas what you actually are is more the observer. The actor is not the act.